season in high school lacrosse. Tonight on Channel 12, a Northwest Suburban Conference boys game between the Armstrong Falcons and the Maple Grove Crimson. Hello and welcome to Maple Grove High School. John Jacobson along with Dan Ficken for tonight's telecast. And Dan, Armstrong got out to a fast start this season. Maple Grove not so much, but now you look at the end of the regular season, it's Maple Grove that's really playing well. They're 8-4. Armstrong has slipped a little bit. They come into tonight 5-5.
Now, Armstrong's had a good start, but they've had a lot of injuries, sprained ankles, just all sorts of sicknesses, pulled muscles. It's been tough. They haven't had a full lineup for over 5 games here, and even though they're senior laden, it's hurt them. They're finally getting healthy again, and they're hoping now for a run here between this game and the Osseo Park Center game next week to build on this. Maple Grove's been strong, but they were young to start out with. That's why they lost 3 games right away. They're building, and they're hot. They're 4 out of 5 right now in wins, and they're getting ready for the sections.
Maple Grove, talk about how that team has progressed. They've really played some good lacrosse this last half of the season, haven't they?
They really, really have, and they've built it on defense. They have a veteran returning defensive core that's been just solid this year. They got like a 5 goals against average, which is lacrosse is phenomenal. Now their scoring's come up now, and they're starting to put the ball in the net, and they're going to be a real threat. They're in a tough section, but they could make a run this year.
Let's look at our key players, starting with Armstrong. And Jonah Borwick has been an outstanding player in this program for the last few years and having a good year now this year as well.
He really has, and over the past few years, he's been injured off and on. I don't think he's played a full season until this year, and he's really stepped up, and he has just as many assists almost as goals, 45 points early. But he's made the other guys on his team better. He's feeding the ball better. He's knowing what to do, and they're counting on him now too. They're looking for 4- and 5-point games from him. If you can pull that off, Armstrong's got a shot.
He's a senior, the guy we're looking for Maple Grove. Tonight is our key player is a junior, Jake Wilson.
And we got to say it, he's the coach's kid, and he's really picked up on what his dad says. Again, another outstanding player who's put a lot of balls in the net, but again, a significant amount of assists. He knows how to play. When the slide comes, he makes everybody else around him better, and he's stepping up to the plate too. So there's going to be 2 good young-looking stars here that we're going to get a chance to see.
Teams are in different sections, but both coaches say this is really a big game for them as they prepare for the section tournament, which begins next week. We'll take a break and come back and start this one. Armstrong, Maple Grove boys lacrosse next on Channel 12.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Breezy but mostly cloudless night here at Maple Grove as Armstrong and Maple Grove face off in Northwest Suburban Conference boys lacrosse tonight. John Jacobson and Dan Ficken back with you at Crimson Stadium. Maple Grove in the white and Armstrong in red. Dan, we talked about these teams being in different sections. Both have a tough road in section play. I think probably Maple Grove more so. They get some really tough teams at the very top of that section.
Yeah, Wayzata right now is one of the odds favorite who've beaten Eden Prairie once and playing very, very well. They've had a little lull, but they're coming back now. So they've got to get ready for a real tough run in their sections. And Armstrong building a little bit different scenario with White Bear. They're over in the St. Paul area, Mounts View, and it'll be interesting to see what they do. They've tried to play some of the teams. They went into overtime with Monsu before but they can make a little bit of a run over there too if they can put it together here and get everybody healthy, as we talked about before the game. So
Let's look at Alexander Larson, the starting goalie for Armstrong tonight.
Senior coach said he's really been stepping up lately since the injury to their regular goaltender. And they're looking for big things for him. Of course, they're going to make a run, John. Your goaltender's got to be playing really well.
Austin Gardner, number 1 at the other end for Maple Grove in goal tonight. Putting face-off controlled by Maple Grove. How important in this sport is the face-off wins, Dan, to winning games and having a good face-off guy or girl, depending on if it's girls across, and being able to control possession and control the game, really.
Yeah, we've seen that in the games that we've broadcast here at Channel 12 this year, both the boys and the girls. When they start winning face-off, things change. We had a 10-2 Champlain Park lead over Maple Grove here a few weeks ago, and all of a sudden, wham, it was 10-8 before we could turn around.
Now Maple Grove working the perimeter out high. Swing it around left side, then back down below the net, controlled there by Hunter House. He's a freshman, one of the young players Dan was talking about in our pregame. Back out high it comes, right side. This is Wilson with control. Jake Wilson, a little run toward the net, stutter step. And then moves inside, his defender fires, and a good save made by Alexander Larson.
Big key first save there. Wilson leading scorer for the Crimson, making a big move, and a couple Dodgers finally got in tight, got a shot up, but Larson was up to the task, makes a big save for the Falcons. And, oh my gosh, look out, folks.
And here he comes at the other end, and Gardner comes up and makes the save. The goalie with a run all the way down the field. Larson stopped by Gardner, and Larson's got to sprint back to his own end to 10 goal.
I got a feeling he won't be doing that again for the rest of the half, John. He's going to have to get his breath back, for heaven's sakes. You don't see that too much in sports.
So, Maple Grove back in possession. Each team with a shot on goal here in the first 2 minutes of the first quarter. Ball at the sideline, and Maple Grove able to maintain possession. Jonathan Wells picked it up. Back out high, Reese Poppy. Tommy Wolden spins inside his defender, gets a shot away. Larson makes the stop on it. The ground ball picked up by Jesse Bullinger. And Maple Grove a reset.
We're seeing a typical Gig Wilson coach team, John. Good ball control. They're not hurrying their shots. They're moving it around, trying to control it around the perimeter. Just a good way to control the ball. The more you control it, the more clock you control. I'm a little trouble holding on to it here, but
there's Tommy Wolden getting it back out to Poppy. Wolden back to Poppy, cutting toward the net. Took a little pop there and lost the ball at the sideline. It's scooped up by House. Then House losing it, able to get there before Micah Ness of Armstrong. And Wolden with control again. Feeds the ball middle of the field, shot, and the save by Larson is even able to make up the save on Jonathan Wells. So 2 good early saves by Alexander Larson, the senior goalie. Not going to make the long run this time. He comes out a few yards and then gives the pass off. Now the Falcons back in control. This is Aaron Haug with it for the Falcons. They'll stop and give it to Jonah Borwick, senior co-captain. One of the top players in Armstrong lacrosse history. He's 3 points away from tying the all-time school record for points is Jonah Borwick, held by Robbie Stoka, who played just a couple of years ago.
He's had a really good year, as you're talking. He's been injured most of his career, and this is the first time he's had pretty much a clean year, and he's really making the most of it.
Maple Grove now with possession again. Scoreless first 4 minutes of this opening quarter. House back behind the Armstrong net. He'll feed it out high. Maxwell Johnson coming in, his shot. Larson save.
You know, it was a pretty uncharacteristic. I think it's kind of an undisciplined shot there, John. Just getting a little anxious here, and they're not having success scoring, so they're kind of pushing a little bit, and they need to take their time and create a better shot. And Larson looks up to the task for anything far out.
Larson got the pass to Kahn. and trying to feed it off to Ness. A scramble for the ball. Falcons maintain possession here. Joshua Malcolm, number 20 in red. Armstrong will make a couple substitutions and reset out high with Tommy Briscoe. Briscoe across. Matthew Zayer. Nathan Borwick. Then back behind the net. Ness losing it. And then a collision there with Joshua Favorite. It'll go over to Maple Grove. Favorite with it. Will start out the attack for the Crimson. Up comes Jack Norman, a senior, one of those veteran defenders that Dan talked about in the pregame.
They've done a good job so far. They've been keeping the Falcons really outside and stretching them out. They're not getting a lot of room to control the ball in the offensive zone, and we saw them lose it again. They haven't had much control in there at all.
Maxwell Johnson got the pass off. Jonathan First knocked off the ball a little bit. Crimson maintained possession now. It's Wilson now holding out high, looking over the field. Now we'll make a move in on the right. Only junior, but he's already made a verbal commitment, Dan, for collegiate lacrosse. He's going to play at Monmouth. Now he comes toward the front of the net, spins and fires a shot wide of Larson in the Armstrong net.
Good creative shot there. Probably wanted to go back into the middle, but he went back to his right hand on the outside there, taking a little bit of an angle away from there, but just uncorked one here.
House's pass misfired, trying to get it to Wilson. Out of play, it'll go to Armstrong.
Boy, both teams a little sloppy here, John. They're dropping balls. Don't have real, control on it. They need to settle down here and really start working their offense.
We got a timeout on the field. Let's look at some of the early work done in goal by Alexander Larson.
It's a nice save there on Wilson, leading scorer, and just good movement. He's got change of direction from high to low, but yet he's got that stick down low, John, and he's got it on his legs and backing it up. Good controlling saves, and he kept control of it, didn't let it rebound out.
You remember the early save he had, and watch this whole sequence here. Larson will make the save, casually behind his net, and then I think I'll just take it here. And nobody seemed to really pick up on that or suspect that he was going to go that far. That was the second time he had it. He had the first time he had actually gone all the way down the field and got a shot on net against Austin Gardner.
Not very often you see a goalie make a save on another goalie,
right,
unless they shoot at the complete length of the ice, for heaven's sakes. But we'll get a little look at that because you don't get to see it too often. It was a pretty good shot too, John. It was the first shot on the Maple Grove net, and Maple Grove goalie had to be on his toes. Took it right off his chest after it bounced up on him.
Timeout coming with 5:42 to play here in the first quarter.
Good timeout too. I think both teams need to settle down a little bit. Both coaches need to talk to their teams about playing the game now and just loosening up. They're stiff. You can tell in the way the passes are a little bit short. They're kind of bobbling things. They need to settle down, calm down, relax their hands, start moving, and moving without the ball too. There's been a bit of standing around too. So we'll see if both teams pick it up here now.
Armstrong with possession. William Lawson, the senior midi, will have the ball first. And ready for play. And the Lawson across midfield. Now we'll stop. Come back out. Pass to Jonah Borwick. Borwick off for Elliot Olson. Back for Borwick. Now to Jordan Maximic. Maximic in, now feeds the pass behind the Crimson net. Dropped there by Nathan Borwick and controlled by Maple Grove. Favorite Whistle against Armstrong. They'll come back across now with the long pass to Norman.
Nifty defensive play there. You get trapped in against your own back line, just bounce it off the opposing team so you get a little bit of a free space here.
Pass ahead to House. Kept away nicely. Armstrong hasn't given Maple Grove a lot yet in this game. Dan, they've gotten a couple shots away. Good saves by Larson, but Maple Grove's defense, or Armstrong's defense, has been pretty decent, I would say. Here's a shot away, and Larson another save, his third.
And there's another good reason why their defense is pretty good too.
Their goalie's playing well.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. They're only giving up about 7 goals a game, and in lacrosse, that's that's pretty good actually. As far as defensive minded, they're not giving Maple Grove much. I wonder how much that has to do with the disruption and dropping of balls, but we'll see if that improves throughout the game here.
Duncan Harless knocked away from him by Sam Barker. Got it back. Nice ball and scooped up by Malcolm.
You were talking earlier about the importance of face-offs. The other important thing in lacrosse is ground balls too. You really have got to attack and do that one-on-one and win the ground ball battle. You generally won't win if you're not winning the ground balls.
Now it's Briscoe. Briscoe looking back out.
A lot of times there's nobody in crease, or they pop in and out of it. See, we got to see that.
Now he'll start a run down the middle, knocked away from him. Briscoe trying to pick it back up. He was knocked away from the play. And a good play by Wingett to get it back for Armstrong. And then he has the ball knocked away by Leonard.
Yeah, Wingett with a good ride there, John, and just really harassing the defense, but Maple Grove never giving up.
And does it again? Wingett does. Swipes down legally on the stick to knock the ball away. Boy, the ball is all over the place here in midfield. And finally a whistle.
A push from behind without possession on there, which turns the ball back over to the Falcons here. And you start getting little scrums like that, sooner or later somebody pushes somebody.
Armstrong out of bounds on the sideline there. Look at some of the defense here.
Good play coming down the backside there, knocking good stick check there. See another good one right here. Now in hockey, if you knock the stick out, that'd be a slashing call immediately.
Maple Grove losing possession.
Boy.
Missed on a pass and controlled by Andy Kahn of Armstrong. Down the middle to Larson. Falcons work it back out to midfield. Lawson took a check. Head to Jonah Borwick, and is firing past the Maple Grove net. Still Falcons possession. Off to Ness. And taken back by Maple Grove. It's his first for the Crimson.
Boy, again, another example of Maple Grove's pressing defense. They're not giving him any room in their defensive zone at all. Falcons can't really move freely at all.
Here comes Wilson with a shot and a goal. Maple Grove is on the board first. Jake Wilson, the junior, scoring with 1:26 left in the first quarter.
Well, there's your leading scorer, getting you off the crux there. Gets the first goal for them, and now instead of going up, down, watch this. He'll go down, drop it low, and bring it up. Comes up into the upper corner there. Very important to change direction here. A lot of times you don't see pretty much straight-in shots come in and without being saved. And it's tough to get a beat on the ball when it's changing direction like that. Great shot by Jake Wilson, showing off his stuff as a leading scorer.
So Wilson scoring his 32nd of the season. Maple Grove winning possession here after the goal with 1 minute and 10 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Well, John, it's been a pretty close score. I mean, we were kind of expecting that. We didn't expect anybody to kind of run away with it here, and first quarter's kind of met that expectation here.
Reese Poppy picks it back up, gets it off for Wolden. Tommy Wolden moves in, shot, and goes wide of the net. Still Maple Grove possession. And reset with 40 seconds left in the quarter. Bullinger back behind the net. Being shadowed by Ben Soper.
Setting up for the last shot of the half here now.
Little bump on Wolden, still has possession. Being ridden there by Malcolm, shot away. Missed the net, picked up by Hunter House behind the goal. 10 seconds to play in the quarter. They get it to Wilson. Wilson spinning, low shot wide of the net. With 1.6 seconds to go as it's picked up by House. They'll give it to Wilson. Got to be a quick one. Tried to bounce it in off the goalie, but Larson was having none of that, and that is the end of the first quarter. Good first quarter. Maple Grove with the lead, 1-0 Crimson up on the Falcons. We're back with more Lacrosse on Channel 12 after this timeout. I should have said good first quarter. It's kind of sloppy.
I never thought I'd miss you half as much as I do. It must be love, love, love. It must be love, love, love. Nothing more, nothing less. Love is the best.
It must be love. It must be hospice.
Maple Grove, New Hope, and Brooklyn Center. Channel 12 is your local source.
When it comes to TV channels, you've got choices. As a matter of fact, you've got lots of choices. But only one channel is your local source in your community every day, bringing you the news, sports, events, and city information that affect you. So seek out the source. Channel 12, 30 years your local source.
Ready to go with the second quarter. Maple Grove up on Armstrong, 1-0 after one. And so some good defensive play and some leading perhaps to some uneven offensive play. Some of that was due to the defense. Some of it was just to the offensive not executing as well as I think both coaches would tell you their teams can do.
Yeah, the pace, if nothing else, get the pace up. It's been kind of slow. No one's really getting some jets or forcing some issues here. Maybe it's time to start putting that up there. Do some stutter steps, but get some really good motion, and especially the players without the ball. Everybody's kind of standing around.
Wilson, it's Maple Grove with possession. Now getting it to Wilson out front on the pass from Maxwell Johnson. And this one skipping out of bounds. And as we talk about, there's a turnover on Maple Grove, and they give it right back to Armstrong.
That'll give a coach a headache real fast.
Maximek with it for Armstrong. His pass too high for Lawson. And it's turned right back over to Maple Grove. Bullinger ahead, a shot, and that misses on House's attempt.
Boy, he would have got his head up just a little bit sooner, John, and stepped more into the middle. He would have had a little bit better angle to shoot at.
Bullinger back behind the Armstrong net. Picking it off for Johnson. Johnson goes down, gets back up. He's being shadowed there by Harless, who takes it away. Duncan Harless for Armstrong. No stop, no. Carries it deeper. Oh, come out front, shot away and a goal. Oh, good sequence there for the senior D, Duncan Harless, and he goes in and scores on Austin Gardner, and we're tied at 1.
Well, we're seeing a little bit of everything. We saw the Armstrong goalie get down and get a shot on goal, and now one of the long stick D comes down there. And every time I've watched it this year when they've gotten clean, look at this. Rips it right into the bottom part of the net. little more velocity with those big sticks, John. I haven't seen the long sticks not score when they've gotten a shot in tight like that. Leave it to the defense to get this game tied up for the Falcons. Just a good run, and he tried everything he could to get rid of the ball and finally said, the heck with it. I got an opening, and he went to the net, and he buried it.
First goal of the season for Duncan Harless. And it ties it up here at 1. Maple Grove with possession off the faceoff. First with it. First waiting and gives it to Wolden. Up to Poppy. Poppy will set up deep right and back. Now accelerates, gives the pass off behind the net to Wolden. Get a tight pass, and then the shot fired wide by Bullinger, and it's back over to Armstrong.
You could see them clear out one side, John, and set it for the dodge, bring it one way, and then come back again the other way. Good opportunity, just not quite the execution. Good play by the Falcon goalie, too. Larson getting out there and getting possession of that ball.
Now the Falcons on the move. Kahn. Got it to the middle to Briscoe. Here comes Jonah Borwick now. Borwick shot deflected. Looked like it was anyway. Shot interfered with and went deep, but Armstrong will get it back. Marshall Wingett, another captain. Pass to Maximek.
These are your Borwick and Maximek. If they can get loosened up and start getting some open looks on the net, they can put him in the net really quick here and change this game fast.
Borwick with a quick shot. It's loose out in front of the Crimson net and then picked up by Gardner as we get a whistle. Crimson player was down. That's Norman who pops back up now. And then the pass too high for Norman, but scooped up. Ground ball pickup by the Crimson to keep the offense moving. That was Nathaniel Cullen.
Nice play with the long stick midfielder.
Yep. Wolden shadowed by Olsen. Wolden tried a low shot that missed.
We were talking to both coaches before the game, and they were both talking about team game and moving the ball back and forth and playing selfless lacrosse. And right now we're just seeing a lot of dodges, John. There's no flow to this offense at all, no cutters, and they're having trouble getting the ball to each other.
House was knocked down. We get a flag and fraction a year against Armstrong.
Be an illegal body check here. And the Falcons is going to go off. Push with possession. Let's see what number is 23.
Looks like it's Haug.
Yep. So Crimson will be man up for 30 seconds here. We'll see what they can do with it.
Lost it, and then taken back. House getting it back for the Crimson. I'll return it to Wilson.
That was a good ride to get that possession back. They didn't hang their heads. They just went right after it, which is good. A lot of times we see these kids hang their heads and just let the defender run with the ball. So good job of getting it back.
Pass by Poppy across. It's Wilson with it. And Wilson back behind the net. Now we'll start a run. Couple little moves, passing out in front. House couldn't get possession. Now finally tracks down the ball. And the Crimson will reset. Played 5 minutes here in the second quarter. It's 1-1. Maple Grove and Armstrong. Knocked down by Lawson as he tries to get possession back for the Falcons and does.
Very nice defensive play by Lawson, short stick defender there. Just did a great job physically on the Maple Grove player and got possession for the Falcons. And now they're on the offense.
Larson got it ahead to Lawson. Crimson player broke his stick. Pass going out in front. Check by Norman from behind, knocking the ball free. Falcons scrambling to try to keep up with possession. Saw some good defense in the first quarter, and it's continued here in the second. Just play a moment ago.
Good physical play by Lawson there with good stick work, and then he works his way through it, gets over to the goalie, and out they come, and he got it back and brought it in. So we have a penalty, I believe, on the Maple Grove Crimson.
Find your shot! Find your shot!
Armstrong trying to take the lead for the first time. Long shot from way out. I don't know if it was tipped or not, or that one just skipped in by the initial shot from Borwick. It's in the back of the Crimson net regardless, and Armstrong is up 2-1.
I don't know if that's a scorer's lucky touch, but it did look like it got deflected when they got close to the crease there. Borwick will wind up and kind of give it a shot. Actually, it was a pass, and it was deflected. So you come around. He's trying to get the pass over there, and it hits one of the.
It's off the Crimson player. Yeah.
Goes in. Well, scores got touch, and then they got karma, and then they got mojo. And John, that was mojo right there for Warwick. And that's what, 1 point for him so far?
Yes.
Have to keep an eye on that.
Needs 2 more now to tie the all-time scoring record for Armstrong. So the Falcons up now as we've passed the midway point of the second quarter. Substitutions here on both sides, more for Armstrong. We got a slash. And we're going to get a timeout by Maple Grove as well.
Number 23, Hogue of the Falcons, going off for a slashing penalty, which will give the Crimson possession in their own zone. They'll move it out to try and put one in the net here to get this game tied up. I'm kind of surprised there hasn't been much flow in this game, John. I'm waiting for it to kind of pick up a little bit, and a lot of it has to do with the players off the ball. They don't seem to be moving too much or setting up picks or pick and rolls here, which might open up this offense.
We talked earlier about Maple Grove starting the season slow. They lost their first 3 games. Their only loss since then, though, came to Champlin Park. And they got beat pretty bad by the Rebels. You've had a chance to see Champlin Park and Wayzata. Those teams, I think, pretty much considered the top teams in our area. What are your thoughts on the Rebels?
Absolutely. Both teams, one of the few. I think Champlin is the only undefeated team right now sitting, and tremendous team. They have good ball movement, very fast and strong, goaltending to back them up, but they go after the net. They can put the ball in the net. It'll be an interesting game Friday night when they do face the Trojans for the first time, because the Trojans play tremendous defense. They might have the 2 best long stick D in the state of Minnesota, so it'll be a good match of 2 tights. But both teams have a very, very good shot of not only getting to state, but winning it without any shadow of a doubt. I know Coach Wilson was disappointed with that 10-1 loss. He thought they played a little bit better than what they did, but sometimes when Champlin decides to put their foot on your throat, you're done.
So out of the timeout, Armstrong man down right now. Crimson will try to take advantage here, trailing by a goal. They scored first on the first quarter marker from Jake Wilson. He has it now. Worked left side to House. Back out high to Wells, back to House. House's pass in front, deflected, but right into the wicket of Wilson.
If you're going to come through the middle like that, you've got to really put it on a rope and really pass. You can't lob it in there. Those long stick D will take it down real fast. Good idea, though. The man was open. There it is.
Oh, good pass in front. Missing was Johnson. So Johnson unable to put it away, and Armstrong will get possession.
Good play. That was what they were trying to do in the first time. The second time they got a little mustard on the pass. It got through and just missed the net.
This is Larson. Goalie sending it down deep. And Maple Grove with possession will come right back.
And the Falcons are now full strength, so they held off the penalty. Back to even up.
Poppy to Wilson. In comes Wolden deep. And then back out with a pass to Reese Poppy. Ball loose on the ground. Poppy able to pick it up. Won the race against Malcolm. Here comes Poppy curling right. Bounces his shot, and the save again by Alexander Larson.
But when you come around that opening like that, and he had a bit of an opening, but you really got to wind up and let her rip. On that, he had a good opening, just didn't quite get a good enough mustard on that, John.
Lawson got it out for Ness. Now to Jonah Borwick. 3.5 minutes to play, first half. Borwick's pass off the stick of Horton, or excuse me, off the stick of Maximek. Armstrong, though, still able to keep possession. Maximek with it now. Shadowed by Cullen of Maple Grove. And Cullen able to take it away after the ball put off his legs. And Armstrong gets the ground ball back at midfield. Here comes Harless, and a goal early. Off to Borwick. And Armstrong will get their personnel they want on the field and reset.
Well, nice discipline play by Harless there. You know, you might get a little bit of that goal fever once you pop one in, but he made a nice pass off and he got back into the defensive zone quickly and let his attacks and middies make the plays here. But you think they know about Borwick over there, John? They're double teaming him right off the bat the minute he starts making a move.
Ball lost on the ground. It's over to Maple Grove.
It was a stick hold real quick, just a quick change of possession, not a penalty.
Got the 2:05 to play in the second quarter. Poppy passing to Wells. Wells to first, then back behind the net. Back out high to Wells. Turning the pass toward midfield and unable to scoop it up immediately was Poppy. Now he gets it. For first, back to Poppy. Wilson. They're attacking him, aren't they, defensively? And then he gets a shot away and he scores.
And that's why you got to attack him, by gosh. Went through 2 dodges, split 3D, not 2, to get himself open for a shot, and found the right-hand side here. See it come around here. I believe it was a nice sidearm shot, too. You don't see that. There's the first split and break. Then he breaks it again and gets around 3 guys, and then rips it. Tremendous future for that young man, John. I think he's only, what, a junior this year?
Yes. Timeout taken as you look at Jake Wilson coming off his second goal tonight. Is tied at 2 with 1:09 to play in the half.
Well, he stepped up for his teammates here now. I didn't think we would have this low scoring game for the half, but nice move there. Spins off it as it works the double team. Then it almost turns into a triple team, and he comes around with a good sidearm shot and rips it. And if Crim's going to go anywhere, he's going to have to really step up. He's getting ready to go now. We've also been talking a little bit about, obviously the Crimson's good defense, which they've had consistently all year, but Armstrong's been playing good defense too. You can see that they're holding, the rest of the Maple Grove team down. Really, the only one that's getting any openings, John, is Wilson for the Crimson. And they're pretty much shutting everybody else down.
Senior night tonight here at Maple Grove. The Crimson seniors are recognized along with their parents on the field before the game. Section playoffs start next week. Already underway in a lot of sports, baseball and softball teams underway, tennis.
Boys and girls lacrosse, our area has been blessed with some good teams that have a shot of doing something, both in the, as I said, the boys and the girls lacrosse tournaments here.
It's one sport I'd say this spring has been the least affected by the bad weather. Not that they haven't played through some really rough conditions, but most of our schools in the area play on turf field, which has allowed them to play games in conditions where it's made fields, baseball and softball field, and their golf courses for that matter, or track and field, or tennis courts, or whatever, unplayable. These kids have been able to play for the most part.
It's a little uncomfortable, but the only thing that'll stop a game really is lightning, and they've gotten their games into, to a certain extent. I think a couple of them have missed 1 or 2 games this year, but they pretty much had a chance to play a full season.
Monday this week was not a good night. Both these teams lost out on games. Here's Wilson with a pass in front, and Maple Grove scoring again. Hunter House, a freshman attack, makes it 3-2 Crimson.
Well, he could have had a cup of coffee in front of that net there. Hunter House all by himself. Wilson finds him and just kind of, I think he looked up and he goes, oh my gosh, look at him. He's wide open. I'll just give it to him here real quick and we'll put her in the net. Maple Grove now taking the lead. Nice play by Wilson to get his head up and see the open man there. That'll have to be a big correction at halftime.
For House's 3rd goal of the season, 17th assist of the year for Jake Wilson. 2 goals 28 seconds apart. Maple Grove back in front. Looking for one more here. With 30 seconds to go, it's off of House's stick. Chased down, though, by Wolden. Another Crimson timeout. 24 seconds left.
Good call. Hunter House, one of the freshmen on the team. We talked earlier, John. Maple Grove is really a very young team. We've got some real skilled players coming up for the next few years. They're going to be set to have a very good lacrosse team here. Coach Wilson's program. Count right now 8 or 9 freshmen alone on this team and making some contributions here. It's kind of fun watching the sport grow here. And like you said too, John, with these facilities, it's been great having these turf fields. I remember when we were, starting out early with Osseo and when we had grass fields, boy, I'll tell you, one rainy day and your field was shot for the rest of the season. It was just terrible. And to have the privilege of having facilities like this really helps that sport grow.
Well, in the early, too, you were able to play on the high school fields, right? You were playing at Northview Junior High, for instance, in the case of Osseo Park Center. And Maple Grove Junior High for these guys.
Yeah, all of us had to go off-site and in fields that the school didn't have to, constantly repair. But, it's grown and the popularity's come up now, and it's nice to be we were one of the first 2 conferences in the state to have full lacrosse boys and girls for all the teams in the conference, and it's shown itself. And we're showing some contenders here now, and I don't mind sitting on a nice night like this, watching a game like this.
All right, final 20 seconds to play now. Maple Grove with a late flurry here in the quarters. A shot and a goal. Maxwell Johnson, the freshman, puts it away, and it's 4-2.
Boy, another freshman steps up here, John, and just a major lapse in Armstrong's defense here. He comes around the net, and really nobody even opposes him. Watch him come around here. Switches his hand, comes around, gets on his right hand, brings it back to his left, then back to his right, and nobody is there to shut the door on him. He just gets a clean shot, leaving the Armstrong goalie just helpless.
Scramble for possession. Get a whistle.
There we're going to have a Falcon penalty that'll carry into the second half here now. Trip or a slash, I think. We got a trip going. 1 minute penalty here. So the Crimson will end the period with man up and get to start the second half, their third quarter here with them being a man up.
.8 seconds remaining. Jake Wilson with it. And that'll be the end of the second quarter. But Maple Grove finishing with the flurry. 3 goals in the last minute 9 of the quarter has given them a 2-goal lead at halftime. Our score, Maple Grove 4, Armstrong 2. We'll take time out, come back with more coverage of high school lacrosse here on Channel 12.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
The problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
With Dan Fick and I'm John Jacobson, it's 4-2 Maple Grove on top of Armstrong at halftime. In our Northwest Suburban Conference boys lacrosse game, no scoring until late in the first quarter. Maple Grove's top scorer, Jake Wilson, netting that one. That came with 1:26 left in the first. It was 1-0 after one. Armstrong ties it. 10:32 remaining in the second quarter on the goal by Duncan Harless, and they went ahead on that goal by Jonah Borwick. Then a late flurry from Maple Grove. 3 goals in the last 109. Wilson, a great effort there to make it 2-2, and then 28 seconds later, he'll get an assist. Wilson setting up Hunter House in front for the goal to make it 3-2, and then with 18 seconds left in the half, it's Maxwell Johnson coming out front and scoring to make our margin 4-2 here at halftime. Dan, your thoughts on that opening half?
Well, I thought it was really sloppy to begin with, and they finally started settling down, but just some real critical mistakes by the Armstrong Falcons there in the last 2 2 minutes really changed a 1-goal lead into a 2-goal deficit, so they're going to have to sharpen up their defense. I expect the pace to get better in the second half. I thought it was kind of slow and disjointed. We'll see if they can smooth it out and find a rhythm.
4-2 Crimson up on the Falcons at halftime. We're back with the third quarter of play in a moment on 12 Sports.
Hi, I'm here to tell you about a new medical website designed especially for older folks. Website, you say? I can't work on computers. They're not senior-friendly, blah, blah, blah. But the National Institutes of Health fixed all that. Now you can make the type bigger, increase contrast, even make it talk to you.
Arthritis.
Just go to NIHseniorhealth.gov and get the best medical information available anywhere. NIHseniorhealth.gov. Built with you in mind.
Welcome back to the second half of play. Armstrong, Maple Grove, Lacrosse. The shadows cross the field here at Maple Grove High School. Armstrong down 2 goals, Dan, but they really controlled the scoreboard, not the play, anyway, until the last 70 seconds of the half.
Just a couple of defensive mistakes, and it cost them a bit, but they can get right back into this thing, especially with the way they were playing defense for most of that first half.
Crimson moving the ball quickly, and they get a shot. House shot is stopped by Larson.
Maple Grove a man up. Here's Armstrong still killing that penalty from the end of the first half.
House off for Bullinger. Now top to Wells. Wilson holding and then gives it off. House back to Bullinger. Right side to Wells.
Nice.
Armstrong back at full strength. Shot by Johnson, bouncing over the net. Ground ball picked up by the Crimson. This is Wilson coming in with a shot to goal. His third of the night.
Really nice play off from behind the net there, too, from their ex. Brought it out, got it over to Wilson on the side, who was set up to do a dodge. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. You'll see him come right and then go back left. Pass coming out to Wilson here. Move up right, come back to his left, gets inside, splits that D, and then gets a great shot off. Look at the move right there, bang, and then uses number 20 as a screen there and sticks it in the right-hand side of the net.
Jake Wilson, 3 goals and an assist tonight. 4 points, and it's now a 5-2 Maple Grove lead. Harless knocked down, get a late whistle.
Called a hold and a change of possession, and Falcons get the ball.
Harless taking the pass from Haug. Knocked away from him. We get a whistle. So over to Armstrong. Over to Maple Groves. Harless looks like he was hurt on that play. Now bouncing back up. But he'll come out.
He took a hard stick, and that's all we'll say about that, by gosh. Boy, this is a situation where the Falcons have really got to start getting some possessions. They can't do turnovers here. They just went down 3 goals. Now, that isn't big in lacrosse. I mean, you can come back from that, but they really want to start doing some things offensively here and get Crimson off their offensive rhythm, because they're starting to pick up a rhythm here, John.
First off for Maxwell Johnson, and missed on the pass to Wilson. Scampers after it, can't get to it in time. It's still over to Armstrong.
I wonder if the sun got in Wilson's eyes there. It kind of looked like it surprised him as it came off the turf.
Elliot Olson for Armstrong. Turning the pass out high is Jonah Borwick. He has one of the 2 Armstrong goals tonight. Borwick trying to hit the cutting player in front. Wing it missed on the pass. And it's over to Maple Grove. Nope, they're going to reward it to Armstrong. Officials confer. It'll stay with the Falcons.
Okay. Wonder if they thought that was a shot rather than a pass.
There's Ness. Back out to Borwick. Jonah Borwick. Hard shot,
Nice.
A goal. Over the right shoulder of Austin Gardner. And Armstrong gets one back. It's 5-3.
Now that's sticking one in the wickets there, John. That was what I'm talking about, bringing some velocity. You could just see him wind up and bring it all the way across the back of his hip. Watch him come around here, and he just brings it, bang, brings his hips across, arm, and just lasers it into the net. Boy, and they needed that one right now. And their leading scorer, the guy leading the way and getting him on the board here in the second half, cutting it to a 2-goal deficit. Now if they can control this face-off here, they can get themselves right back into it.
I'd say that's been the one big difference, Dan, how many face-off wins Maple Grove has had.
Yeah. You know, a good face-off guy can change a game totally. You can completely dominate and control it, even if you aren't necessarily the better team. If you keep winning face-offs, you keep control of the ball.
Jonathan Wells. Pass out high. Wolden now will give it off. Picked back up by Poppy. Coming in front with the pass. Turning, getting a shot off. I don't know how House was able to twist and shoot, but he did. And Larson there to make the save.
And Larson had to make a heck of a save there, John.
Larson will pick it up now. Well out of his net. We've seen him do that before. Gets knocked off the play here. He's got to scramble back toward the goal. Look at that play out front a moment ago.
Watch the nice play down low here to get the ball inside here, and just kind of flicks it. And kind of Larson gets a little cross-legged, but he makes a nice stop there.
Cross check on Jonathan First of Maple Grove.
I think that was the shot on the goalie as he was coming up the field there now. So it's been a while since the Falcons have been a man up, so we'll see what they can do with that.
Elliot Olson, he's a freshman. Whistle, we're going to have another infraction here on Maple Grove. So down will go Leonard.
And push with possession there from behind. 1 minute penalty now. Falcons are 2 men up now. This is a good opportunity for them to get back into it. They can generate some offense. Depends on people moving and getting in good position here. And they can move it down a little bit closer to the net as they're moving the ball around. Kind of compress that a little bit.
We're ready for play. Ness will start it out. Borwick got it in front, and it's picked off in front by the long stick midi Cullen. Great play by Nathaniel Cullen. Gets it back to his goalie Gardner, then back for Cullen. Voids contact. Cross midfield. Lost it, out of bounds, over to Armstrong.
Just a tremendous play by the Maple Grove defense here. Pass going across. You can't lob it across the top. You've got to put some mustard on it. The long sticks are just too good for Maple Grove.
Armstrong quickly back down the field. lose the ball, side of the net, picked up by Wingate. Still Armstrong possession. Clock stopping, 7:24 to go in the third quarter. Falcons trailing by 2. Right now, 2 men up. Need to take advantage of this opportunity. Jonah Borwick off for Lawson. Cross to Ness. Missed out of play. Still Armstrong ball.
Okay, that's good. They got a shot here, John, and retain possession. They need to start firing the ball a little bit more. Don't get too picky about how pretty it is. Let's get some shots on net here and make the Crimson work. One guy's back for the Crimson.
Borwick. Now it's Maximic giving it up for Ness. Back to Jonah Borwick. He loses it. And taken away by the Crimson. Pulling the long one in on net. Saved by Larson. Alexander Larson with a run. His pass too high. Trying to hit Lawson. Ball on the ground. Norman scrambling after it along with Wingate. It'll be Maple Grove possession.
Pushing behind without possession gives the ball back over the Crimson. Falcons had a good opportunity here. They'd gotten the ball back and again kind of threw it away. But good ride right there.
It was Ness. Took it away briefly from Norman. Scooped up by the Crimson. Back comes Maple Grove on the attack. Back behind the goal is Johnson. Got high to Poppy. Wolden lost it, and it's picked up by Armstrong. Wolden didn't know where it was for a moment. Lawson comes in and takes advantage.
Just watching Coach Wilson here at Maple Grove just shaking his head like, man.
Here's Jonah Borwick in with a shot. It's traffic in front and picked up by Maple Grove's Leonard. Crimson across midfield, pass in the middle, and Larson comes up with a big stop on Poppy.
Nice save there by Larson. He's made some nice saves tonight, John. He's really kept the ball out of the net for the Falcons.
Got it ahead to Maximic. Now it's Nathan Borwick. Olsen with 4 minutes and 35 seconds to play in the third quarter. Ness went down.
Yeah, we're going to have a stick in the face here.
Yep.
And I think they're going to call it a hold on that as he pulled him back. But all of a sudden, yep, got a hold. A 32nd on this one, so Armstrong's going to get another opportunity to be a man up. They can take advantage of this. All of a sudden, it's a one-goal game. Yeah, I'm really surprised, John, at the low scoring here. I know both teams play good defense, but I expected a little bit more offense.
Jonah Borwick down for Armstrong. To Lawson, side of the net, and shot fired wide by Nathan Borwick. Wingate will bring it back into play. Knocked down in front by Ness, and has to get it off quickly to Jonah Borwick. That was Lawson, rather, and did a good job to get it to Borwick so they didn't lose possession. Then a hard shot and a goal by Jonah Borwick, his third of the night. That's 5-4. You see him wind up on that one?
Oh, my gosh. As Dr. Evil would say, a laser beam. What a shot. Look at the windup here. Just gets everything he has on it and just goes into the upper corner here. Just hits it perfectly. And how many points is that for him tonight, John? Is that the third one?
He's got 3. He has tied the school record for points in a career at Armstrong. Congratulations to Jonah Borwick. 3 goals tonight. And Most importantly for the Falcons, down once 5-2, we're now within one at 5-4. That goal coming with 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Maple Grove with possession here, though.
Well, it's nice that that tying goal John he got was an important goal here to get him back within one.
Crimson trying to get one back here. Johnson's shot fired wide.
Really, the Crimson haven't had the ball that much this quarter, to be honest with you. We've been watching the Falcons with a lot of possession. They have to restart their offense here.
Maxwell Johnson. Back to Jake Wilson.
Oh, bring a slide. He's so dangerous.
It's back behind House and turned over to Armstrong. Haug for Larson as the Falcons start out. Under 3 minutes to play in the third. They trail by one. Trying to get the long pass ahead to Nathan Borwick, and they turn it over to Maple Grove. Sometimes you go for that home run play, Dan, it just doesn't work. It didn't work there.
You're the goalie. You want a little relief. Help yourself. Let your team control it here and play in the offensive zone rather than in your own defensive zone. But
Norman across midfield, lost it for the Crimson, picks it back up.
Good call. Pushing behind without possession in the line. The attackman got pushed down and changed the possession. That's a big mistake by the Crimson.
Maximek to Nathan Borwick. Comes right side to Ness. And out high to Jonah Borwick. Whistle against Armstrong.
There's a moving pick there, which was a change of possession.
Good pass ahead. Greg Urquhart in cross midfield, and it's back over to Armstrong.
And there was a Ward where the offhand that isn't holding on to the stick pushes off on the defensive player. These are all basic mistakes that I'm sure will get corrected here before we get into sections.
Well, and if they don't, it'll be a quick section tournament, unfortunately.
Yeah, it'll be one game and out. See you later.
Falcons, Nathan Borwick. Trying to stay away from Norman, fight him off, keep possession. We're inside a minute and a half to play in the third. Nathan Borwick still with it. Now lost it. Norman's persistent paid off, Dan.
Yeah.
Finally ended up in possession of Gardner and Maple Grove. Back come the Crimson now. Johnson with a shot and skipped wide. Excuse me, that was Leonard with the shot.
All of a sudden, this game's opened up a little bit here now. Nathan Borwick's got to understand as a short stick, too, you're not going to hold possession against a long stick too long if you don't get rid of the ball. Now we'll see if Mr. Larson here can make a good clearing pass and give his Falcons an opportunity to take it in the offensive zone and create an opportunity.
Larson getting the pass ahead to Jonah Borwick. Borwick to the middle. Nice pass, a shot, and a goal. Put in by Elliot Olson, and we're tied at 5.
Wonderful play by Borwick here for his 20th assist. Look at this pass right into the guts. A quick turnaround shot and bang. We got a tie game. Good fight back by the Falcons. You know, when you're talking too about Larson making a good pass and letting his guys take the ball into the offensive zone and creating some offense, and that's exactly what happened.
For Elliot Olson, his third goal of the season. And we are tied up
Illegal procedure on Maple Grove. Falcons get possession of the ball the last 30 seconds here. I'm surprised they call a timeout here. Ooh.
In comes Malcolm. Missed on the pass to Briscoe. Briscoe getting it back. Crimson player down. The whistle. The officials are going to confer on this.
It's going to be on the Falcons. Probably a push from behind with possession. Yes. Yep. That'll be a minute penalty on the Falcons.
Going sportsmanlike too.
Yeah.
Because of the shot to the head, perhaps, as the official now explaining things to Luke Gellerman.
When he made that signal of holding his hands together above his head, too, it meant unreleasable, I believe. So it's kind of like a major penalty that Crimson can score as many times as they want to, and Armstrong's still going to stay a man down until that minute or 2 minutes is up.
Final 10 seconds here, the third quarter. Crimson is going to hold it here, and that'll be the end of the third. Entertaining third quarter of play. Armstrong comes back from 3 goals down. They have tied it at 5. We'll take time out. The fourth quarter to come. Armstrong, Maple Grove, Lacrosse. More on 12 Sports after this.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
E-File. Get receipt confirmation and a quicker refund. Log on or tell your tax preparer to e-file for you and join the 53 million e-filers who consider it done.
John Jacobson, Dan Ficken. We are just underway here in the fourth quarter. 5-5 game. Maple Grove and Armstrong. And Maple Grove right now, Dan, a man up. Chance to regain the lead.
They needed to, because that third quarter was Armstrong's quarter. They fought back well. They got this game tied up after being down by 3 and done a nice job. So Maple Grove's got to get some of that mojo, that momentum back here.
Wells to Wilson, back to Wells. Walden. Hard shot by Wells, missed the net. Stay with Maple Grove. House will get it back in play. Wells. Cross to Walden. Side of the net. Shot and a goal.
Ooh.
Nicely done by Hunter House. Beating Larson on the short side. Maple Grove is back in front.
What?
Second goal of the night for House.
Again, Wilson coming back across, and Hunter House just really nice short side there. Goes low, picks a good spot, making the goalie Larson have to bring that basket down. He didn't get there in time, and Maple Grove takes the lead, taking advantage of the man-up situation. That'll help get your momentum back a little bit there, John.
Doesn't hurt, right?
Absolutely not.
And Armstrong's still a man down.
Yes, they are. Illegal procedure on the Falcons, and the Crimson get possession. Boy, that hurts.
Jake Wilson releasing the ball to Wells. Here's a shot, and that one high and wide. Crimson will put it back in play. House across to Bollinger to Wells. A little trouble with it. And the Falcons scoop it up. Harless for Armstrong. Cross midfield, knocked away from him, got it back. Now they'll spin away from the defenders and kill some more time for Armstrong and let the Falcons try to set up here on offense.
Harless with a wonderful play there, John. Tremendously disciplined, did a great job there, especially just pulling it back and holding on to it.
Here comes Lawson for Armstrong. Pass intended for Jonah Borwick, broken up by Sinjum for Maple Grove. Pass ahead to first, in front for House, who just skipped it wide.
Larson being really aggressive there, getting out on House and just taking him off his rhythm. Even if he didn't block it, he came out. I like it when a ref does that. Look at the pass coming in here. House getting it, and boy, the goalie was right there on his noggin and making him think about it.
Walden shot missed wide. Nine minutes and 30 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter.
You can just feel now with that goal, the Crimson, John, have gotten their momentum back. They're really starting to play a little more confidence. They're holding the ball better, moving it around better. Falcons got to get a couple stops here to kind of slow this thing down.
Poppy over to Wilson. Wilson battling there with Joseph Hernick along the sidelines. And finally scooped up by Poppy.
Good teamwork there by Wilson and Poppy.
Shot away. Larson making the stop on Walden. Now Jonah Borwick. Borwick the pass. Shot to Maximek, who turned and fired and scored, and it's tied at 6. Nice play.
All of a sudden, the offenses are waking up. They're making connecting passes. They're getting guys open. They're taking great shots. You know, high, low, low, high, just coming through. And all of a sudden, we see offense coming up there. John, we got 12 goals now, and I wasn't sure we were going to make that before this game ended. Well, he talked to the Armstrong coach. I'll tell you what, he said this team has never quit. I mean, they got a lot of grit. They always keep fighting back. They've lost a couple of one-goal games and another two-goal game and a couple in overtime, too. They've been in pretty much every game, and they played Champlain Park very, very well. So we shouldn't be surprised by what we're seeing here.
Maximek scoring his 15th goal of the season. The 5th point of the night for Jonah Borwick. 3 goals, 2 assists to become the school's all-time leading scorer. Here comes Wilson again. Wilson spins, shoots. Larson got a piece of it. Yeah, it's Maple Grove's possession.
Boy, good hustle by Larson there. I tell you what, the goaltender for the Falcons is engaged right now. I'll tell you what.
Here's first for Maple Grove. Passing in front. Ball lost on the ground. Crimson trying to get possession. We're going to whistle and infraction against Armstrong. We'll stay with Maple Grove here with 7:32 to play in the fourth.
Got a push there. Boys to be boys. Give me that ball. Give me that ball.
Here comes Maxwell Johnson. Turning and firing, his shooting was Wilson. Stop made. Maple Grove, though, still gets controlled play. Seven minutes to go now in the fourth. Maxwell Johnson cutting across. His shot missed wide.
Boy, all of a sudden, that third quarter started rolling it here. Now in the fourth quarter, they're just firing right and left here. We're getting a whole bunch of offensive momentum going.
First comes out in front. His shot blocked and picked up by Harless of Armstrong. Releasing the ball to Olson. Elliot Olson has a goal tonight for Armstrong. Out in the middle to Briscoe. Briscoe's pass, and the shot is in, and it's Elliot Olson. An assist from Briscoe. Olson second of the night, and Armstrong in front.
Boy, Olson surprised himself on that one, I think, too, John. He just kind of got it and flipped it. He didn't get much on it, but he got it just enough to get it in the upper corner. He's just excited. Kind of lost it into the net, and by gosh, Falcons got a one-goal lead. Exciting for the ninth grader here is participating here, and as they go into sections, get some of these younger kids involved too is going to help. Good face-off win by the Crimson.
Six minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Maple Grove, which led 5-2 early in the third quarter, now finds himself down 7-6.
John, you and I kind of thought we'd have a good close one here, and it's sure living up to its reputation now.
Poppy getting the pass off for House. Being shadowed by Carpenter. House turns, gives the pass off, ball knocked away from Bullinger, side of the net. That's over to Armstrong. Here comes Jonah Borwick for the Falcons. Borwick's pass deflected out in front. And the Crimson have it. Gardner, nice pass out toward midfield. Right in stride to Matthew Leonard. Leonard is going to Lindenwood next year to play collegiate lacrosse. Now it's in the possession of House. And the freshman attack will get the Crimson reset with under 5 minutes to go. House turning in front, shot. Larson making the save. He beat him on a similar shot a few minutes ago. Larson had that side covered a little better this time, was able to make the save.
Yeah, normally coach wouldn't be happy with taking that short side shot, but he's already made one in the game, so.
Trying to hack the ball away from Larson, who's able to release it. Luke Gellerman's really steamed over there. The first-year head coach for Armstrong, he thought his goalie was taking a little more abuse than needed at the time. And timeout taken. I like to see good young coaches in the game. Dan, a guy who played at Cooper, the good player for the Hawks rather, and now first-year coach at Armstrong.
Coaching at his arch rival for
yeah,
sakes, but brings a little passion to it too, and they're playing at it. I mean, look at how animated he is. He's letting these kids know, hey, you're in this game. You're doing your deal, and like he said, he was so proud of the fact that these kids are in every game and they just grit it out. And that's big for that program, and so he's pretty proud of them. That they could get a section run out of that if Larson and their other goalies step up to the plate and give them some saves like they have been. They could make a nice run for the first-year coach.
Maple Grove trying to regroup late here. Head coach Gig Wilson now in his 6th year as head coach of the Crimson. And talked about how they played a tough non-conference schedule and There's Gig in the maroon sweatshirt there to your left of your screen, and suffered a little bit early because of that tough schedule and because of the young players they have, but really come on nicely in carrying 8-4 record into play tonight.
You know, he's been a real solid builder of this program, John.
Yeah.
Every year he's in contention of some sort. He's never out of it, and I don't think he's had an under 500 record since he got there. And we're watching him come down, but, you know, he's got a very young team. There's nothing to worry about here. He's building something that's going to be pretty good in the next couple of years.
So 4:25 to go, 7-6, Armstrong on top. They have possession, really harassing William Lawson, but he's able to keep possession. Get it ahead, and the Falcons will set up.
Now, really important here if you're the Falcons. You know, you got the 1-goal lead. Work it. Work the clock. Make sure all your possessions count. Make Maple Grove play defense. Don't let them back in your zone. And pick your shots very carefully. Oh, my. Stepped on the end line. Ooh.
And it's over to Maple Grove off the turnover. Almost a takeaway, but Gardner secured it, got it ahead, and back come the Crimson.
Same advice here now for the Crimson. You're down by a goal. You got about 3 minutes left, 3.5. Take your time. Look for the open shot. Watch where the slides come from, and that's where the ball should go to get an open shot. And the right guy's got his hands on the ball right now, John.
It's Jake Wilson. Wilson got the pass for a house in front, deflected off an Armstrong defender, picked up by Maximek, who gets it to Larson.
Very nice defensive play. Crimson were running a standard play there, and the Longsticks just would not let that ball get through. Get possession here, and I like this too. Look at the patience that the Falcons are playing with here now. There you go.
Falcons up by a goal with 2:40 to play. Now for Jonah Borwick. Borwick cuts to the net, shooting, and a big save by Gardner. How huge is that with 2:25 to go? He can't really afford to go down 2 goals, and he keeps his team in it. And it remains 7-6.
Good save. Not sure Borwick made a good choice there going for the goal right there. They had plenty of time to possess the ball. They should have run some time off the clock, but we'll see what they can do defensive-wise. They've played well defensively tonight, John.
There's House, bothered by Haug. House comes out in front, shot away. Missed the net. Bullinger running down for Maple Grove. Now possession with 1:53 to go. Bullinger across to first. First out front to Poppy. To Wolden. Side of the net. House back behind the goal now. Moving in tighter. Here comes Wilson. Wilson fires high. Goes out of play with 1:21 to go, and we get a timeout from Maple Grove.
Good call. Maple Grove trying to get settled on it. They'll probably put a set play on now, too, probably with Wilson in the middle of this thing. And it's kind of good for the Falcons, though, John. Their defense is going to get a little bit of a rest here. They're running around. Warwick with a nice play down here, and he thought he had an opening there. I thought it was, but probably should have held on to it a little bit longer. Good save, holding his ground there. Maple Grove goalie, and here we got a situation where Wilson's got it now and he's trying to create an opening here. Got some good moves, good spin move. Lets one rip with the screen in front. That's not a bad shot to take at that time. Now we've noticed Maple Grove likes setting up a backdoor play. I would look for something on that from the left-hand side coming back to the right here, down low. with Mr. House, I think, as part of that deal. He's been pretty good at catching it and doing that on the short side. We'll see what each team is cooked up here now with 1:21 left.
Possession for the Crimson, trailing by 1. Ready for play, Jonathan first. Bollinger to Johnson. Excuse me, that's Wolden. Tommy Wolden. Now it's for House. Under a minute to go. House with the pass. Here's the shot and the save made. Another one for Alexander Larson. Comes up with a huge stop there with now 40 seconds left. Harless getting the pass. Ahead to Soper. Turning it back for Lawson. Under 30 seconds left. Lawson. Going to keep it away from Maple Grove. It goes deep. It'll still be Armstrong's possession. 18 seconds left. All Armstrong has to do is hold possession here. 15 seconds to go. Goes out toward midfield, but we're under 10 seconds to go. They still have possession. No, it'll go over to Maple Grove and the late whistle. 8 seconds left. Pass comes ahead. Here's a chance. And they can't get a shot off, and Armstrong wins it. First was trying to dig deep to try to get a shot in on Larson. Couldn't do it, and the Falcons come away with a win. And they've lost. We talked about it early, Dan. So many close ones. They win a close one and a nice fashion against a good Maple Grove team, too, coming from behind in the second half, and they win it.
Just a lot of great grit and stuff. But here's the big thing, too. They put some offense together, but here it is right here. Look at this shot, boy. And I'll tell you what, he rips it pretty good. And Larson just holding real strong there. Good, strong basket. And then he makes a smart play here, John. He takes his time. Gets the clearing pass out, and they know exactly what to do with it. A tremendous game by the Falcons here, John. They're just, all that good hard work paid off. They stayed patient. They worked themselves back into it, got a lead when it counted, and then they were smart enough to make it stand up here. And that's, sometimes lacrosse, that's tough. You can score it well here. Nice job by the Falcons tonight.
Got the late save, did Larson on Jesse Bollinger, and Armstrong able to run out most of the last minute of the clock, and they hold on for the win. So they take it 7-6 over Maple Grove. We'll take time out, come back and hear from the Falcons in a moment. You've been watching high school lacrosse on Channel 12.
What do you want from the all-powerful Oz?
A brain.
People wonder how I got to be the all-knowing Wizard of Oz. I go to USA.gov, the official source for government info.
Pick up the student loan form to your right. Next!
I want to go back to Kansas.
Oh, that's a toughie. Back to USA.gov, passport applications.
For federal and state government information, there's no place like USA.gov.
The American Heart Association says for every hour of regular vigorous exercise we do, like very brisk walking, we could live 2 hours longer. Imagine, if we walked to the moon and back, we could live forever. Find out about the upcoming American Heart Association Start Heart Walk in your area. Walk with your coworkers, friends, and family.
Nice come-from-behind win tonight for the Armstrong boys lacrosse team. They take out Maple Grove 7-6, the final score tonight at Maple Grove High School. John Jacobson joined now by 3 of the Falcons, and we'll start with now the school's all-time leading scorer in boys lacrosse. Jonah, talk about tonight's win and this win for this program.
It's a great win. Last year we took them down in double OT, and both teams looked for this game. We consider them our rivals, and every year it's a battle going up against them. We got to bring it their all. They bring it their all, and it's just great to come out on top.
You're the all-time leading scorer, like I mentioned. What does that mean to you?
It feels great, but I got to give it up to my teammates. I couldn't have done it without them. All the way down to my freshman year, all my team has been great, and I give it up to them.
How about this season? It's been kind of up and down. You've had some injuries, some close losses. How much does this win help as you get ready for sections?
It's fantastic. We've had some star players go down, but we've also had guys step up, and it's really, really paid off.
Jonah Borwick, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Alex Larson had some big saves tonight in goal, none bigger than that one with about a minute to go. Tell me what you're thinking when you know the pressure's on. You got to come up with a big stop, and what you saw on that last shot.
That last shot, I was basically just thinking like any other shot. You don't want to focus on just one shot because then you get nervous and then you panic. So I was just thinking it's like every other shot, just trying to make sure and have my teammates helping out too, because I couldn't have done it. I believe there was a poke check or something that spun them off the ball too, so that helped.
It was a good win. It was a good Maple Grove team you played tonight. How much does this win help you as you get ready for section tournament play?
It helps us a lot, actually. We got a lot of momentum. We actually have a game tomorrow because Monday got rained out, so we have a game tomorrow, and it's going to help us with momentum for tomorrow.
Good luck, and congratulations. Nice win tonight.
Thank you.
Jordan Maximek, talk about the play that Alex had and Jonah and the rest of your teammates. You guys all kind of came together there after falling behind 5-2 early in the third quarter.
You know, we have dealt with a lot of adversity this season, and it's really brought us together as a whole. We've gone from a season full of selfish play, looking to drive the net, one-on-one, to lots of off-ball movement, lots of teamwork, always looking to see your man rather than see the net. So I think that fighting through everything we've dealt with this season has really brought us all together. I got to give it up to Jonah. I've been playing with him, my entire career, and hitting 110 is just as special for him as it is for me, being there with him. And Alex has stepped in the middle of this season, losing Colin Cahill, who's our starting goal at the beginning of the season, to a knee injury was tough, and Alex stepped up immensely. He's been incredible in net, and I would not want it any other way than having them both coming back strong, with Colin coming back and with Alex stepping in. We've got two strong goalies we can rely on in any situation.
Big win against a rival. I mean, this is a team you wanted to beat, right?
This is a team that we look forward to. We circle this on the schedule every single season, and it's a fight to get here. It's a fight on the field, and afterwards, with the win that we had last season and this season, it's pure joy and bliss. It was a hard-fought battle, but we came out with it.
Coach Kellerman thought with a win tonight and a win tomorrow, you could get a number 3 seed in your section. As you look ahead to the section playoffs, who's going to be the teams you're going to need to beat? And did you have a chance to get to state this year, do you think?
We're walking into a section with White Bear Lake and Mountains View. White Bear Lake is a team we're very familiar with. We play with a lot of them during the off-season. And then Mountains View is a team we lost to, unfortunately, in overtime earlier this season. Real close game where we lost Cahill. Those are the guys to beat, and it's winnable games. If we work through our system, we play our game with teamwork rather than selfish play, we're going to get through it.
Congratulations on this win, and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you very much.
All right, great job by the Armstrong Falcons tonight. Alex Larson, Jordan Maximek, Jonah Borwick, and all the rest of the Falcons coming back again, down 5-2 early in the third quarter, and they win it tonight 7-6. They're 6-5 in the season. Maple Grove with a loss drops to 8-5. That'll do it for our coverage tonight. Playoff lacrosse coming in the coming weeks on Channel 12. For all of our crew and for Dan Ficken, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks for tuning in for our coverage tonight of this Northwest Suburban Conference match. Armstrong wins it at Maple Grove 7-6.